A name. A wallet address. A whisper through the blockchain. That's all it took to shatter the illusion of finality. The 0.01 ETH transaction with the note, not done yet, wasn't just a breadcrumb, it was a ghost. A message from someone who wasn't supposed to speak. Lana Moreau had been in custody for 3 weeks, facing wire fraud, identity theft, and money laundering charges across 4 jurisdictions. But the Ethereum address that received the cryptic note belonged to Valera's original cold wallet. The one only Lana supposedly controlled. Unless someone else did too. In a high-rise Manhattan office, Zahara Green reread the transaction details. She hadn't expected this. The story was done. Lana was caught. The world had moved on. She had a Netflix meeting scheduled next week. But this tiny pulse on a dead account, meant the story wasn't over. She started digging again. She traced the sender wallet through Tornado Cash transactions. It bounced through 11 hops before surfacing in a Binance hot wallet, now dormant. Zahara knew this game. She'd seen criminal rings make fake signals to draw heat. But this felt different. It felt deliberate. So she did what she always did, she went back to the beginning. Meanwhile, in Luxembourg, a woman named Mara Ellis stepped out of a wine bar. Her dress was tailored, her walk confident, her identity impeccable. She was a mid-tier wealth consultant, certified and clean. No one would suspect that her real name was Diana Kolovska, a former darknet escrow agent who'd worked with Lana in 2021 on crypto laundering scripts. She wasn't supposed to be involved anymore. But when the blockchain message hit the Valera wallet, she knew it was a signal. Lana had executed the failsafe. And the rules were simple. If the system goes down, switch to phase delta. Phase delta meant the cleanup begins, and the money keeps moving. Mara returned to her hotel and opened a secure laptop. She decrypted a local file that contained a private key labeled Echo A0A. The wallet had $810,000 in ETH, untouched for 7 months. She smiled. Back in the US, Lana sat in a detention center in Virginia, federal custody while prosecutors built their case. She was denied bail due to her escape attempt and dual citizenship history. She had no contact with the outside world. No laptop. No burner phones. No signal. Except she didn't need one. Her mind was the signal. Before her arrest, Lana had trained 3 people under aliases, remote freelancers, paid in crypto, given limited but critical information. They knew her only as the architect. Each of them had one job. One to move money. One to scrub metadata. One to spread disinformation. Each was triggered by a simple signal. A transaction. A phrase. A delay. They didn't even know she had been arrested. Only that it was time to activate. In Kuala Lumpur, a man named Ren Chong opened his encrypted Proton Mail inbox. There was a new message, 3 words only. Protocol 88, smoke. He deleted the email without reading further. Then he accessed a dashboard showing a tangle of wallets, DNS records, Telegram groups, and bot networks. He began flooding Discord with fake Valera forks. Valera 2.0 is coming. The tech is going open source. Zahara Green is a Fed puppet. It worked. Confusion spread. Some crypto diehards started claiming Lana was innocent, even a whistleblower. Meanwhile, the money was vanishing. Zahara began noticing oddities in the blockchain records. Old wallets were suddenly reactivated and emptied in batches. Some moved funds to gambling dApps, others to microloan protocols with anonymous withdrawal features. It was fast. Precise. Scripted. She reached out to Agent Sloan at the FBI Cyber Division. I think Lana had a contingency plan, she told him. We know, he replied. But what we can't figure out is how she's triggering it from inside custody. Zahara leaned forward. She's not. Someone else is, someone on the outside. She planned this. Sloane frowned. We thought Valera was the scam. It was just the surface, Zahara said. The real operation might still be running. In custody, Lana was interrogated weekly. They tried to break her with pressure, flashing photos of the people she'd tricked. Playing audio of angry investors. Showing Kai's resignation video where he cried and apologized to the public. But Lana said the same thing every time. I didn't lie. They believed what they needed to believe. On the 25th day, she finally asked for a single thing. A piece of paper. She wrote something on it, folded it neatly, and passed it across the table. It was a wallet address. You'll want to watch this one, she said. The address had no history. No inbound or outbound transactions. Until 4 days later. When exactly $200,000 in USDT landed in it from 3 different mixers. The government froze it instantly. But they missed the second transaction. A multi-sig activation script triggering a new address under a DAO structure. This was Phase Delta. Mara, Run, and the third shadow, whose real name even Lana didn't know, were now moving faster than ever. The goal wasn't just to clean money anymore. It was to rebuild the network under new names. They created a fresh white paper. Verdexa, Privacy-First Financial Autonomy for the DeFi Age. It looked new. But it was Valera's code, dressed up, cleaned, and pushed through GitHub by an anonymous developer team. Lana was gone from the surface. But Verdexa was rising. And then, the prosecution made their move. They offered Lana a deal. 20 years reduced to 7 in a low-security federal facility, if she gave them everything. Wallets. Names. Code. Blueprints. Lana stared at the offer. Then she smiled. What makes you think I ever had control? They didn't know yet, they never had control. And neither did she anymore. In the world of financial crime, erasure isn't about deleting the past, it's about rewriting the present so completely that no one looks back. That was the purpose of Verdexa. While Lana Moreau sat behind bulletproof glass and federal surveillance, her ghost project was being born. This time, it wasn't marketed through LinkedIn influencers or startup pitch decks. It spread through encrypted developer forums, dark channels on Mastodon, and token-gated communities full of anarcho-capitalist ideologues. And it didn't promise privacy. It guaranteed freedom from oversight. Verdexa was introduced not as a product, but as a movement. A decentralized autonomous treasury, DAT, that allowed users to launder, store, and grow capital without ever interacting with traditional banks or KYC, know your customer, systems. On the surface, it looked legitimate. Clean GitHub repository. White paper audited by a fake Swiss firm. Developer team allegedly from Estonia and Brazil. Pre-launch staking options with locked liquidity. Behind the scenes, it was Valera 2.0, cleaner, faster, and far more dangerous. This time, no one even knew who the founders were. No one, except Lana, and even she wasn't certain anymore. Back in Virginia, FBI agents watched Lana for any sign of contact. They checked her mail. Monitored every lawyer visit. Cloned every surface she touched. Still, she said nothing. Zahara Green kept digging. She noticed Verdexa's first Discord server go live under an admin named Koval9, a handle once linked to a proxy server that had hosted one of Lana's original VPN accounts. It was loose, but it was something. She took it to Agent Sloane. This isn't over, she told him. Verdexa is a continuation. Sloane leaned back. We've already seized the Valera funds. Zahara shook her head. Verdexa isn't about funds. It's about systems. Lana built a model for a self-sustaining fraud loop. This is like Silk Road, but financial. Decentralized fraud as a service. In Belize, Mara Ellis made her next move. Using a combination of offshore law firms and local nominees, she opened 2 trust funds, 1 NGO, and 3 shell companies. All registered under false identities that checked out under basic scrutiny. Then she routed $700,000 from one of the Verdexa staking contracts into an environmental initiative called Green Futures International. The goal wasn't to go legit. The goal was to launder credibility. In 2 weeks, Green Futures would be cited in a UN report, appear on 2 ESG fintech blogs, and receive a grant from a minor EU sustainability initiative. All of it fake. All of it programmed. Meanwhile, Lana was relocated. Her new facility was more remote, underground, quieter, with fewer opportunities for outside contact. No visitors. No letters. But one thing changed. She was granted a laptop, strictly monitored, locked into a limited research environment. The pretense was that she would begin cooperating with investigators under a digital forensic program. The real reason? The government hoped she'd log into one of her wallets. Make a mistake. Prove control. But Lana didn't touch the blockchain. Instead, she wrote. She journaled. Pages of reflections, half philosophy, half confession. One passage stood out to her handler. Money is not the root of evil. Control is. I never wanted the cash. I wanted to prove I could make it real without it. Zahara read the line 5 times. She had obtained the journal pages through a leak, a low-level federal contractor she'd once helped expose corruption for. What struck her wasn't what Lana had said, but what she hadn't. There was no mention of Verdexa. No blame placed. No regrets. Just a quiet certainty. Zahara felt something she hadn't in months. Fear. This wasn't a grift. It was design. Verdexa exploded. Within 30 days, over 12,000 wallets had interacted with the protocol. $14 million in total value was locked in its smart contracts, primarily from anonymous users in Russia, Nigeria, Singapore, and Mexico. Regulators couldn't trace it. Auditors couldn't classify it. It looked like a DeFi startup. It behaved like a mirror. A mirror that reflected every shady motive, every hidden agenda, every dirty coin, into clean, untraceable liquidity. Governments began investigating. But Verdexa's website was hosted on IPFS. Its documents were live-edited through unstoppable drives. Its founders didn't exist. And its users refused to cooperate. This wasn't just code anymore. It was belief. One night, Zahara received a new email. Anonymous. No subject. One sentence. Ask Lana about the piano room. It made no sense, until Zahara recalled a line in one of Lana's first interviews as a college student. I think best in the piano room. No sound. Just structure. Zahara asked for a special permission hearing to see Lana again. In the prison meeting room, Zahara stared at Lana. Lana, thinner now, eyes sharper. She looked like she'd been watching something the whole time. I know about Verdexa, Zahara said. I assumed you would, Lana replied. Is it yours? Lana leaned in, voice steady. Does a mother own her child after it learns to walk away? Zahara sat still. How long will it last? As long as people need a mirror, Lana said. And mirrors don't go out of fashion. Zahara stood. You'll burn for this. Lana smiled faintly. No, Zahara. You'll write it. 6 months later, Verdexa was worth over $78 million. The name was everywhere in fringe crypto circles, privacy tech conferences, and dark money telegram channels. It had become a myth, a living ghost of the decentralized future. To the outside world, it was just another DeFi protocol with aggressive, privacy-first rhetoric. But those who knew where to look could see its true structure. Thousands of small-value accounts cycling funds. Staking pools rerouted through smart contract oracles. Validator nodes that never stayed online long enough to be traced. Governance votes held under burner wallets with pre-coded outcomes. The tech was airtight. The paper trail was gone. And Lana Moreau had disappeared into legend. But she wasn't gone. She was still in federal custody. The world had simply forgotten her. That was part of the plan. Disappear in plain sight. Let others build the legacy. Zahara Green had tried to expose Verdexa in her docuseries, Fraud by Design. But the deeper she went, the more resistant her sources became. Verdexa wasn't seen as a scam anymore. It had become a symbol. A quiet rebellion. In a small cabin in Montenegro, Mara Ellis sipped coffee while watching Verdexa analytics on her tablet. She had one job left before she would vanish for good. Cut Lana loose. The prison laptop had a secure chip embedded under the hinge, planted there by one of Lana's freelance students 2 years prior. It wasn't activated, yet. Mara opened a command shell and sent a single command. swan.blackout.protocol88.init. Nothing happened visually. But in Virginia, Lana's laptop flickered for half a second, no alert, no sound, and executed its final code. 2 days later, the feds found the laptop bricked, reset to BIOS. All logs erased. 2 weeks passed. Zahara visited Lana for the last time, now through a plexiglass window, no recording permitted. Lana looked calm. Colder. Even peaceful. They say you've been behaving, Zahara said. Reading. Writing. Quiet. I've said everything I needed to say, Lana replied. Then tell me this, Verdexa. How many layers deep does it go? Lana just smiled. You're still trying to understand control, Zahara. But Verdexa was never about money. Then what was it? Lana's voice was low, measured. Proof. That the system can't hold what it can't see. That belief, real belief, can't be regulated. That night, a major data center in Iceland suffered a silent breach. No ransomware. No destruction. Just deletion. Files associated with Verdexa node tracing, federal blacklists, and blockchain analytics, gone. It was a final sweep. The system was resetting itself. The next morning, Lana Moreau was found unconscious in her cell, non-fatal overdose, prescription med combination. Deliberate. The government labeled it a suicide attempt. She was moved to a long-term medical psychiatric facility. Sedated. Watched. But some suspected the truth. That it wasn't about escaping consequences. It was about erasing the last breadcrumb. 1 year later. Verdexa hit a market cap of $320 million. The founders were still anonymous. No arrests. No leaks. No proof. Zahara published a best-selling book, Web of Deceit, The Financial Phantom Behind Verdexa, but even she admitted in the final chapter. We never caught the spider. We just watched her web become a world. And somewhere in the Balkans, a woman named Mara withdrew the final 0.01 ETH from a wallet tagged in Valera's first ICO. The note attached said, "The mirror holds."